Hello everyone, and welcome to Sky Guy World Headquarters, which has shifted from the kitchen to my living room today. I'm very excited to share an unboxing video of a brand new Celestron RASA 11-inch photographic scope. And it's not really all that exciting to watch somebody take something out of a box, but riveting television, you know. But however, it is quite a unique kind of telescope, and I'm very happy to add this to my arsenal of things that I can take pictures of the sky through. The current scope that I'm using, which has been working very well for the last 7 or 8 months, is a 4-inch in diameter refracting telescope, which is very, very crystal clear. It has a short focal length so that it sits up nicely on the mount, and it doesn't require a lot of effort to keep it pointed at the targets, and that's all terrific. But it's only 4 inches in diameter, so you have to open up the shutter and take 2 hours worth of exposures or something like that just to get a decent enough signal. Well, the Celestron people have come up with something called a RASA, which is an acronym for the Rowe-Ackerman-Schmidt Astrograph, RASA, and it is a telescope that you can't look through. And so that's just kind of I guess that's a little commentary just about how exactly ate up I am with this astrophotography thing. If I had family in town, they'd be performing some kind of intervention about now, I think. So let's get to it. The RASA is a lot like a Schmidt-Cassegrain style telescope, relatively short, has a corrector plate at the front. You actually put the camera up at the front of the scope, and there is no place for an eyepiece, so it's strictly photography only. The benefits of this thing are, because it doesn't fold back on itself with mirrors, the focal length is only a little bit longer than the refractor that I've been using, except it's 11 inches in diameter, not 4. So that gives it a fast focal length, which means you can gather a bunch of light in a fraction of the time it takes with the refractor. So you can either still expose for 2 hours and get a super deep image, or you can spend less time on each image if you don't need that much light. But who doesn't need that much light? Okay, let's see what's in the box. Okay, I've got this on its side because I'm pretty sure that I couldn't get it out of here if it was upright. The thing weighs 43 pounds, so that's going to end up being near the limit. By the time you get the camera and everything on there, it's going to be near the limit of what my Losman G11 can handle. All right, this looks like a box of accessories here. We'll get to that. And the usual foam stuff. Make sure to keep track of all that because it's the best way to move all this stuff around. There's that. And I think it's probably just going to fall out of here. Well, how about that, baby? That is a substantial telescope. Okay? Who needs a bag? Okay, well, let's get rid of the box. Okay, so here is the front. Maybe this will make a decent prop. There we go. All right, so we got a lens cover here. Does this unscrew? Oh, it latches. How about that? All right, so there you go. So you just screw the camera right on right there. There's some adapter lenses and stuff. So there's a corrector plate here like a Schmidt, and then screw on adapters. You put the camera here. You have to run the wires across the corrector plate, which is a little weird, and apparently it causes diffraction spikes. in the image, but you have to deal with that. So, all right, well, don't want any dust on there, so I'll put this back. How do you know where it goes? Oh, I see. There's little markers there. All right, let's turn this around. Oh, 43 pounds, baby. Yeah. So this is the back of the scope. Okay. You know, I think that anybody who would buy a telescope that costs multiple thousands of dollars would know by now, especially one you can't even look through, not to point it at the sun. But what can I say? In 5 different languages. All right, so this must be some kind of mirror tightening thing here. There's a fan in the back, a high efficiency fan. Takes input from a 12-volt source. They give you a stupid little battery pack, but I'll be using it from a larger battery. And then this is the focuser here. There's two, here we go. There's 2 speeds. There's a coarse control there and a fine control there. There's a bracket you can buy. I'll be taking both of these knobs off and putting a motor on here that can be very precisely controlled for focus. And because there doesn't seem to be any focus lock, and that's about it. Hey, oh look here, we got a handle. Very nice. We got big dovetail bars on both top and bottom. And I have a little accessories clamp here that will go on the top of that. All right, let's look in the accessories box. Now slightly squashed. Okay, so we have the aforementioned battery pack for the fan. I think I've already got a couple of these. I'll probably be cutting the wire and using the wire in some other capacity. Okay, here's a ring for the front of it, and then a couple of adjustment screws that need to go on somewhere. These would be the adapters for your various cameras. So I think what happens is, this will be the one I'll be using. This goes on, and then this goes over the top of it to screw that on, and then the camera screws onto there. These cameras don't look like cameras. This is what an astronomical CMOS camera looks like. Like a jar of peanut butter, all up in red. The ZWO company has turned out to be a pretty good company. And so you basically put these together, you screw the camera on the front, then this thing hangs on the front of the telescope like that, and you run the wires to it. One of the weird things about having a telescope in the front is that the rest of my photographic train consists of an off-axis guider, which takes some of the light as it's coming in through the telescope, siphons it off, and there's a second camera up here which controls the pointing of the mount on a very, very tiny second-by-second basis. And, well, that's all going to have to come apart because you can't put something this big in front of the lens there because it'd be stupid. So we are going to, and already have, come up with a different solution. So if you can't use an off-axis guiding solution, you use what's known as a guide scope, which is a separate telescope. So at some point, the guide camera will get put in the back here. It's got a nice fine-tuned focus thing here where it's by the numbers. So you can turn this focusing thing and have a numerical values. Okay, this is in focus at 3.5 or whatever. And that's a real big help when you're trying to recreate a setup from the numbers. I'll be finding some way to get this onto that. Probably involve some kind of screws, and then this will be able to, this whole finder assembly with this thing will be able to latch onto the bar on the top of the scope, and that'll become the guide camera goes in here. And the guide camera doesn't go to the computer, it actually goes to the mount. And that'll all be just fantastic. So I might be able to get this out and see if I can get it up on a mount on Saturday. So we'll see about that. That's it for the unboxing of the RASA 11-inch Carpe Noctem.